Ooh girl, it is that time of the month again, and no, we are not talking about periods, but we are going to be talking about this month's BOXYCHARM for the month of August. And girl, I love doing these videos so much. I think BOXYCHARM is such a cute little box. You don't know what's inside until you open it. And I also like to take all the items and do like a full-on look using them all, which I think is just really fun. And if you are not familiar with BOXYCHARM, it is a beauty monthly subscription service that is $21 a month. In each box you get between 4 and 5 full-size items with a retail value of $100 or more per box, which is an insane value. And if you would like to sign up for BOXYCHARM, I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below. However, before we jump into it, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and gave this video a like. And also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And on Instagram, I post 7 days a week with a ton of tutorials over on there if you are looking for some inspiration. So I just pulled out the little insert card in this month's box, and apparently the theme is called Totally. So I'm assuming it's like a Barbie, Legally Blonde, you know, like girly pink type of vibe. But I'm not 100% sure. I did kind of like briefly look at the items just because I wanted to make sure I could put brows on first, because your girl needs some brows before she starts a video. But I do see one skincare item, so we are going to start with that. So the skincare item that we got in this month's box is from Wander Beauty. This is the Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil. And your girl likes a glow right now. I don't know what it is, but a good glow in summer is just so beautiful. And I also want to say though too, I did notice it does have a safety seal on the back, which is really cool. And also on the back it says formulated without mineral oil, parabens, phthalates, synthetic fragrance, and it is also cruelty free. So on the back of the directions it says that you only need 2 to 3 drops for your whole face, and then just to rub it in until it sinks into the skin. Ooh, that's really nice. If my skin looks really red, it's not the product, it is honestly just because I'm touching my face. My skin is super crazy sensitive anytime I touch it. It doesn't matter if I use water or what it is. So don't be worried. Ooh, that actually feels really nice. It's not a heavy oil, nor is it like a really like oily oil. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you use an oil and it feels like you just took like some olive oil, threw it on your hand and called it good. This doesn't have that. It definitely feels almost like a serum in a way. Like it literally like sunk into my skin super fast. Okay, but like seriously, can we talk about this face oil? Like girl, it is giving me such a glow, like look at her. But I do want to show you guys how I'm going to do like this glam smoky eye, and what I'm going to do is use products that aren't included in this box, because a lot of the products that I got are like makeup items, but they're not like matte eyeshadows, and I want like a little bit of like a matte base going on first. So once your eyes are primed and ready to go, we are now going to be going in with eyeshadow, and today we are going to be using the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love this palette so much. And we are going to be going in with this beautiful orange shade right here called Orange Soda. And then with this shade, I'm going to be applying it into my crease and then blending it upwards towards my brow. I'm just doing little circular motions, and I'm also using it to round out my outer V. So once you have that applied and blended out, the next shade that we are going to be going in with is called Sienna. It is a beautiful warm brown shade. And then with this shade, I'm just going to be applying it into my crease and into my outer V just to add some definition to this look. I'm just doing little circular motions to blend it upwards as well. So once you have that all blended and ready to go, we are now going to go back into items that I got in my BOXYCHARM, and I got these single shadows from Ace Beauty. They are called Glimmer shadows. They really remind me though of a Colourpop Super Shock shadow. Like even like the packaging is like very, very similar. But I got 2 of them, which I thought was really cool. And the first one I want to go over is called Cotton Candy. It's a really pretty kind of like pinky, peachy, kind of like rose gold shade. I'll swatch them up close in a second, but you see what I mean though? They look very, very similar to a Super Shock shadow. And I got another one too, and that one is called Iced Latte. And that one looks like that. It's a kind of like a coppery, kind of like gold shade. It's really, really pretty. And they also kind of have like that texture of a Super Shock shadow too, which is really interesting. You see what I mean though? Like super pigmented. So here's the one in the shade called Cotton Candy, but dang, isn't that pretty? You see what I mean though? It has like a pink to it, and then when you like move it, it has kind of like a rose gold peachy type of tone to it. And I just want to swatch this one for you too. It does kind of have like a similar vibe to a Super Shock shadow, but this one's a little bit more powdery. And then here is its swatch. Oh my gosh, that is so pigmented! Oh my gosh, like look at that. And then here's the one in Iced Latte, and as you can see, it's really kind of like a darker brown, and then when you turn it, it has a really beautiful gold shift to it. If you like neutral eye looks, I feel like you would really enjoy this shade. And I'm going to swatch this one live for you guys too, because I'm really curious about it. Dang, like look at that. That's a one swipe swatch. Like girl, that's amazing. I cannot wait to use these. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to use first, but I think I'm going to go in with Cotton Candy because your girl loves brights. Like if I see a bright shadow, I always gravitate towards it. And I'm going to treat these ones like a Super Shock shadow, so I'm going to use my finger. So here goes nothing. We're going to go in with our finger. And I'm really like making sure that I like press it onto, I'm not like swiping. Ooh, that's actually really pretty. Dang, that's gorgeous. This definitely does remind me though of a Super Shock shadow. That is a tongue twister, say that 10 times fast. But dang, that's actually really pretty. It's not sticky either, which I really appreciate, because sometimes cream products, ooh girl, like they can get sticky and tacky and feel really weird on the lid, but this one has like that powder-like finish to it. We are going to go in with a second layer too, because your girl likes to be extra on this channel, and I don't know, like on the lid, it doesn't look like it did when I swatched it. Because like when I swatched it, like this shit was pink and like peach and rose gold, and like on my eye it looks a little bit more neutral. Oh yeah, like this is definitely like way more neutral than I was expecting, because like in the pan it looks really kind of like fiery and pink and like peachy at the same time, and then when it's applied it looks a lot more neutral. It's still really pretty though, it just definitely was not what I was expecting it to look like. So off camera I was playing around with this because I really wanted to try to get it to look like it does in the little jar thing. And what you do is you really like push it onto the lid and like really press it down. And then that'll get it to be like extra metallic and to look like it does in the pan. So I'm going to take a little bit of Ice Latte and apply it in this outer V to see if I can blend the lid color into all the other goodness that we have going on in the crease. Because it appeared like it was darker. I don't think it did much. It seems like it's more of like a lid shade or like an inner corner type of deal, so I probably wouldn't use both of these at the same time again. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Sienna again out of this Soft Glam palette and really just apply this in the outer V of my eye, just to help blend that lid shade in with everything that we have going on in the crease and to also get a little bit more definition. So the next item that I got in my box is the item that I am the most curious about, and that is from Becca Cosmetics. This is the Hydra-Mist Set and Refresh Powder, and girl, how could you make a hydrating powder? Because like when I think of loose powder, and girl, I love loose powder so much, I think of it to be more on like the mattifying side, you know, like taking like a luminous foundation and making a little bit more mattifying. I don't think about a loose powder being hydrating, and apparently this powder is formulated with 50% water. I'm like, girl, how does that work? Because like when you think about like making a cake, you know, like when you mix your like wet and dry ingredients, they get like, you know, battery. So like this one having 50% water, I'm like, how does that work? So I'm really curious to see how this one works today. And then before we jump into the powder, I'm just going to quickly apply my foundation, which will be the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect Foundation. Girl, if you haven't tried this foundation, you need to. Like, you can see, like, I'm almost done with it. This is my second bottle of it, and girl, it is such a beautiful foundation. Highly recommend it. I think it's like about $10 or so at Walmart. Not to mention, it is so full coverage and very dewy on the skin. And before I get some creasing, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that powder again on that sponge. What? That feels like putting like water on your face. That is so weird. Oh my gosh, that is like really weird feeling. I've never felt that before. You know, like when you use like a really damp sponge and go in with your powder, like that is how it feels. Also, that is oxidizing my foundation pretty bad. But dang, that is like the weirdest consistency ever. I've never felt that with a powder before. That's like really unique. Like that is a really weird experience. I highly recommend just trying like a sample of it out if you don't get Boxy, because that really feels awesome. Like that is probably one of the coolest powder experiences I have ever had. But I will say though, it is definitely oxidizing my face. Like girl, look at that. So I will say, after applying this powder, my skin feels really nice. Like, you know, like sometimes when you use a loose finishing powder, a lot of times they get like cakey and really heavy on the skin. This one doesn't. It like literally melted in, not to mention it felt so cool when I was using it. It had like this like weird like cooling effect, yet it almost felt like I was like spraying my face with water. It was a really interesting experience. The only downfall to this powder though is it oxidized so bad on me. Like girl, like my foundation turned like 4 shades darker, and I'm not even kidding. Like look at this. And I mean, like, this foundation's already pretty dark on me, but like, girl, it made it like extra dark, so that's the only downfall in my opinion to it. So if you are very fair, you probably won't like this powder, but if you're like a light to medium skin tone, I could see you really enjoying it. Girl, I be looking like a bronze sun bunny from California. Like, look at how tan I look right now. Like, I am not used to it. Normally, I'm really into like embracing the pale skin. It is just kind of like my vibe. But I don't know, I think a really beautiful bronze look can be super pretty too. So I'm actually feeling it. But now we are going to be going in with another item out of my BOXYCHARM, which is the Big Ego Mascara from Tarte. And girl, I love Tarte mascaras so much. They are usually my all-time favorites. And this one is really intriguing to me because, like, girl, look at that packaging. It is so neon. It is so fluorescent. It's definitely giving me like that Legally Blonde Barbie type of vibe. Packaging wise, this one is like really weighted. It's a very like heavy tube. I think it's made of metal, honestly. And then when we open her up, here is the applicator. It is a really cool kind of like hourglass shape. Okay, but seriously, I am in love with this mascara on my lower lashes. Like, look at how pretty it made them look. It kind of gave them a little bit more separation, a little bit more length. I think it's just so beautiful. I don't know how I feel about it on my upper lashes because your girl is a false lash connoisseur. Like, I always wear false lashes, but I still think it gave them a lot of like length and a little bit of separation, which I think is really pretty. But my favorite part about this mascara is the brush. It is so beautiful. It's one of those ones that kind of like hugs your lashes in a way, and it's not one of those like spiky bristle ones either, which I hate those ones so much. So I can definitely see myself using this mascara more. So I kind of goofed up a little bit when doing this look, and I actually thought that this Steve Laurant pencil was an eyeliner, and I was like, oh, perfect at the end of the look. It would look amazing. However, this is a lip liner, and it is dark, but we're going to try it out anyways, but ooh, that color though is really pretty. So I'm going to try to do an ombre look with it, but we shall see how that works, because normally I do lip liner and then liquid lipstick. So here's the finished look using all the products that we used in this month's BOXYCHARM, and girl, this look is giving me like sun bunny, bronze goddess type of vibes. I don't know, I sometimes really enjoy like a full-on like glamorous kind of like bronze glow, and this is definitely doing that for me. But either way though, I do want to give you guys my thoughts and opinions about all the products that we used today. So the first item that we are going to be talking about is this Wander Beauty face oil, and I actually really enjoyed this face oil. It was very easy to apply. You only need about 2 to 3 drops for your whole face, and not to mention it dries down. I hate oils that get like super greasy and heavy, especially in the morning right before you apply your makeup. Like, I'm just not about that life. So if this one doesn't break me out, I can definitely see myself using it more. So the next item that we are going to be talking about are these single eyeshadows from Ace Beauty, and I'll be honest, they're really pretty on the eye. However, I don't see myself using them all that much. I definitely prefer my Super Shock shadows from Colourpop that I have in very similar colors to these, because these ones, they're really pretty. Like, you look at them, like when you swatch them and they're like, dang, that's pretty. And then once you apply them, they are a complete different color, and if you want them to look like they do in the pan, you have to like really build them up. And then over time, like the glitter kind of like moves around and it gets in places that you don't want it to be. So for me personally, I don't see myself using them all that much, nor would I see myself purchasing more of them. But since I do have them, I'll probably use them. This powder from Becca is by far one of the most unique products I have ever used. Like, seriously, it is such an experience. It feels like when you take like a really sopping wet beauty blender, like dip it into your loose powder and apply it underneath your eye like people did years ago. But when I did that years ago, it got like really cakey and gnarly underneath my eyes. However, this powder doesn't do that at all. It literally melts right into the skin and it looks seriously airbrushed. I just cannot get over it. Not to mention, this powder has like a cooling effect. There's nothing I have ever experienced similar to it. It is such a cool experience. Like, you definitely need to try it out just because of it. I don't know, it's just a really unique product. The only disadvantage though is it oxidized so bad on my skin, like literally changed my foundation about 4 shades darker. But other than that, I would definitely use this powder again. It is such a cool, unique concept, and I feel like if you have dry skin, you will really enjoy it. So the next item that we are going to be talking about is the Tarte Big Ego Mascara, and girl, I love how this looks on my lower lashes. It makes them look so cute and so pretty. It makes them a little bit more lengthy, a little bit more separated. It kind of makes them look a little bit more like clumped together, but not in an ugly like spider lash type of way, but like in a cute way. I don't know, there's just something about this mascara I really enjoy. Not to mention, I really love the bristles of the brush on this one. They're not like that like sticky, like plasticky kind that I'm just not a big fan of. It has more of like a bristle to it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just really enjoy it. It like hugs the lashes too because of it. I just think that this is a really nice mascara and I cannot wait to use it more. And last but not least, we are going to be talking about this lip liner from Steve Laurant in the shade Chic. And girl, I love this lip liner so much. Normally, I am not a lip liner connoisseur. I just go in with a liquid lipstick and call it a day. But this one is actually really nice. It is one of those like harder, more stiff type of pencils, so if you are not into it, you definitely will not like this one. But for me personally, I do like a stiffer pencil because I'm able to get a better line. The only time I don't like a stiff pencil is when they kind of do like that cracky weird thing, but this one didn't do it at all, not to mention it is so crazy pigmented. And I do want to say though too, when I apply this, I did it right over a liquid lipstick and it didn't crumble it either. I don't know, I'm just really impressed with it. And I can definitely see myself using it more. It reminds me of the Jeffree Star Cosmetics shade in Androgyny, if you're a fan of that. So I can definitely see myself using this one a lot more. But yeah, so those are the items that I got in this month's BOXYCHARM. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about my box, and also if you get BOXYCHARM, let me know what you got in yours too. And as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below, and also if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!